Hi, I'm Christian Hopkins. My gamer tag is Grand Pappy Chris, and this is the life of a gamer. What influenced me to be a gamer was my cousins. I used to live with my aunt and my cousins back in Kentucky when I was young, and I learned to pick up a controller at the age of 3. And my cousins used to teach me playing games. I used to play Sony PlayStation, Nintendo 64, and I mostly would watch them play games, but you know, I love looking at them. It was just like cartoons to me, but you know, something you could play. And then, when you know, they taught me how to play video games. So, when it comes to the tournament scene, my very first major tournament was called Combo Breaker back in 2016, which was, it was enormous. It was something like I couldn't believe. Beforehand, I used to go to the locals here at the local Arcade Legacy. However, going to Combo Breaker really changed my perception of like the fighting game community. It was like so many different people from so many areas. It was like absolutely amazing. Other than that, I've been to CEO in 2017, which is a tournament based in Florida. That was really cool too. It has like this giant boxing ring, and like all the pro players are like coming out for the top 8s in this like walkway that's like, yo, what's going on, you know? It's really cool. And just recently, this last weekend, I've been to Frosty Faustings, which was the 10th anniversary of the tournament. It's primarily a Guilty Gear tournament, which is one of the games I play. And frankly, I thought it was great. It was a pretty small tournament, compared to like Combo Breaker, but I still think it was a really fun experience overall, and I'd definitely love to go back again. One of my greatest gaming achievements is actually when I won my first local tournament. And funny enough, it was my very first tournament I ever entered. It was for Killer Instinct, and we had 9 entrants, I believe. It was over 8, so we actually had a full like bracket going on, not just like some round robin. So I was completely new to the fighting game community, and I had played Killer Instinct, I played Glacius, and this is back in 2014. And this is when the game first relatively came out, it was gaining steam, you know. So I came up to this local scene, to one of the locals, and they were like, oh, who's this Grand Pappy Chris kid, you know? And I'm like, just whatever. I'm quiet, like I didn't really know anybody up here. So once I like entered the tournament, I'm winning all my matches, and everyone's like, who the heck is this kid, or who the heck is this guy? And I'm like, I just play Killer Instinct a lot, and then ended up getting the grand finals against a buddy of mine, who now is a buddy of mine, and I beat him 3-0 in the grand finals, and he was like, yo, you're really good. Who are you? What's your tag? I'm like, oh, I'm Grand Pappy Chris. Like, I've ran into you online before. Like, I didn't know you were in Ohio. I'm like, yeah, like this is the first time I ever heard of the tournament scene or Arcade Legacy. So I figured I'll just come up here, see what it's about. But yeah, I think that was one of my greatest achievements and just recent memory. Just like having to win my very first local tournament I've ever entered. So that was pretty cool. So my most memorable experience as a gamer, just a gaming experience period, it actually comes from one of my favorite games, Fallout New Vegas. So in Fallout New Vegas, you go to this town called Nipton. You're requested to go there by one of these NPC guards, and they tell you to go there and investigate what's going on. So as the lone wanderer in this wasteland, post-apocalyptic wasteland, I'm only armed with a pistol, a little bit of ammo, and just the food and then clothes on my back. So I'm heading to this town, and then I see this guy running out of the town who says, I did it, I won the lottery. And I'm over here whoa, that's, what's this whole lottery thing about? I want to come up on easy riches, this guy. So I talked to this NPC, and he's like, I'm asking him, what's this lottery? What's the deal with it? And he's like, doesn't matter, it's the only lottery that matters. I'm a winner, I'm a winner. So he goes running off in the distance, and in my head, mind you, this is years ago when I was a little deviant. In my head, I was like, well, I want to see what kind of riches this guy got. So I put on my gun and shot him in the back of the head, and ran up, looted the lottery ticket right off his corpse. So I was like, all right, cool, got the lottery ticket. So I go into this town, Nipton, and then you're just surrounded by these legionnaires, is what they're called. People are part of Kaisar's Legion, which is one of the enemy factions in the game. When they come out, you're greeted by one of the leaders, and he's like, well, state your business, what's going on here? And as a wanderer, you're just timid, hey, I'm just here to see what's going on. It's well, we've taken control of this town, and we've gathered up all the civilians and taken them prisoners. And I was like, okay, that's pretty crazy. And they were like, they said, so all the prisoners that we have are all entered into this lottery, and there's only going to be one winner per week, and basically the winner for the lottery gets their life back, their freedom back. And I think as a gamer, when I came to that realization, I was like, wow, I just took away a dude's freedom because of my greed. So I want to say that's one of my most memorable gaming moments. My final regards to the audience is, if you're a gamer, you know, do what you love, you know, play like whatever genres you want. Like, especially if you're in the fighting game community, like I'd say like to fighting gamers specifically, you know, if you're a little ever like antsy or nervous about like going to, you know, some like tournament and getting like destroyed or whatever, don't worry about that, man. It's really all about the experience, you know. I go to major tournaments and, you know, I have the mindset to win, but overall I'm there to have a good time, you know. It's all about meeting new people in the community and, you know, sharing tech, you know, just have fun.